You love me! You love Mom!
I do love your mother, but she's more like a pet to me.
Today, we're going to take a look at the Invincible Hardcover Compendium Volume 1 by Robert Kirkman, Cory Walker, and Ryan Ottley. It has a $100 cover price and a 1,024-page count. Let's get into this hardcover compendium review. Oh boy, I was so happy when this was announced. We finally have an Invincible Hardcover Compendium Volume 1. You have beautiful artwork on the cover here from Ryan Ottley. Love the metallic look on the lettering throughout the cover on this book. Just really great, man. You have a little indentation on this artwork here on the back with a little glossy feel. Just taking a look at the binding quick, you do get a nice eye on this. There is absolutely no gutter loss throughout this entire book. Beautiful read. You see all that artwork perfectly. Opening it up, you do have a little title page here with a list of all the creators. So you got Robert Kirkman, Cory Walker, and Ryan Ottley on this book. And it is just an absolutely beautiful book. So glad that I waited for this instead of picking up the softcover compendiums earlier. This is the 20th anniversary edition. Hard to believe that Invincible has even been around for 20 years, but here we go. This book unfortunately does not have a table of contents, but it does have the creators and artists that worked on what issues. So it has like Cory Walker was a penciler from issues 1 through 7, and then Ryan Ottley was a penciler on issues 0 and 8 through 47. So Ryan Ottley does pick up on issue 8, which I will say that the artwork does pick up a little bit. If you get this book and you start reading it and you're like, the artwork is kind of so-so. I wasn't a huge fan of the early Cory Walker stuff, but once Ryan Ottley picks up this run, man, it is absolutely fabulous. The artwork is so good. Really incredible stuff. That's not a knock on Cory Walker's artwork either. Issues 1 through 7 are good. I just definitely prefer Ryan Ottley's artwork a lot more throughout this entire read. I feel like he really got this story and these characters and really brought the artwork to a whole nother level, really expanding on this Invincible universe, just immersing you in this great world and really, introducing you to all these great characters and this atmosphere that this whole entire comic run is involved in. It's a great story. One of my favorite stories of all time. I waited a long time to get this. I was waiting for a format that I wanted. I didn't want the Ultimate Collections or the Deluxe Editions were kind of hard to find. I think they only had like 2 of them out. I didn't want the Compendium soft covers because I'm just not a fan of that style. Once this was announced, this was a must-have. I pre-ordered this immediately, and I'm so glad I did. And I finally got to read Invincible, and I absolutely love this story. As you see me flipping through the pages here, this is issue 7, where the whole atmosphere of this story drastically changes. You have the Guardians of the Globe here all getting like notifications to be sent back to their main headquarters. So that you have the Immortal, Aquarius, Darkwing, Green Ghost, Martian Man, Red Rush, and War Woman. They're all notified to come back to their headquarters, and there waiting for them is Omni-Man, and he just, if you have seen the show before, he just brutally murders this whole hero team here, just cutting their heads off and just disemboweling them, and just an absolute gory thing. It doesn't go into as much detail as it does actually in the show, in the comics here, which is kind of unfortunate. I do wish it was good, but I mean, the show just absolutely nailed it. But this is the part of the story here where everything really definitely changes and everything picks up pace quite a bit. Now, in this absolute game changer of a moment here, you have Mark Grayson kind of finding out that his father was the one that was responsible for killing all of the Guardians of the Globe. Omni-Man had once told Mark before a story about why he was here on this planet, and now he actually comes clean and tells him the actual truth. So really, he's a part of this planet Viltrum. He's a Viltrumite, and they wanted to obtain intergalactic dominance throughout the universe. So the first step in this process was to weed out the weak. They murdered all their people, and who was the weakest all died, and the strongest survived. Once the strongest Viltrumites were established, they set up a world-conquering committee where they would go out and they would find these planets that were in a crucial time in their development, and they would go and try to add them to this Viltrumite empire. Now, if they agreed, they would just join the empire. If they didn't, they would just be absolutely massacred by these Viltrumite people. Now, Omni-Man was sent to Earth. This was the planet that was in a stage of crucial development that he was going to try and have join the Viltrumite empire. Now, after being on Earth, he ends up meeting a woman. He ends up falling in love with her. They have a child together, which happens to be Mark Grayson. Now, at this time, time, Mark has already grown up, he's hit puberty, he has his superpowers now, he's now known as Invincible, which he got his name from his school principal actually. Omni-Man hopes that Mark will join Omni-Man in this process of intergalactic dominance, but Mark is half human, he loves Earth, he has friends here from high school, he has his mother that he loves, he doesn't want to join the Viltrumite Empire, which absolutely pisses off Omni-Man, and an absolute beatdown ensues. Invincible is beaten nearly to death, but because of Omni-Man's love for his son, he does not finish the job and he takes off into space, never to be seen again. Or is he? Now, in this Invincible hardcover compendium volume 1, you're going to follow the life of Mark Grayson, a teenage boy who inherits superpowers from his father, the world's greatest superhero, Omni-Man. Now, the compendium opens with Mark discovering his powers and learning about his father's secret identity as Omni-Man. Now, as Mark starts to train and use his abilities, Mark becomes involved in the superhero community and he really begins to learn the complexities of his job. He quickly realizes that being a superhero is not just about fighting bad guys, beating the shit out of aliens, but also about dealing with politics, public relations, and personal relationships. One of the cool things that makes Invincible stand out from other superhero comics is its willingness to explore the consequences of superheroics. I mean, there are times in this where he absolutely injures civilians and, he has to deal with those problems. Mark's battle with villains often have real lasting consequences for both himself and the people around him. It's not your average superhero story where the city gets demolished and the superhero just flies away. Now, Mark really has to battle inside himself with these feelings of loss of the people around him, which makes this story so much better than most superhero stories. Now, this series also delves into the personal lives of its characters, with Mark struggling to balance his duties as a superhero with his relationships with his family and his friends. It's not all just big epic battles with aliens or criminals within the city. You have Mark actually with his relationship with his girlfriend Amber. Now, they got together, she didn't know he was a superhero at the time, and now she and him are kind of having to deal with this whole situation as Mark has to go out to space all the time and try and save people or other civilizations. There's definitely some great character growth with Mark with his relationship with Amber, and he also has another sort of relationship that'll continue further on into the next volume with Adam Eve, who's part of the Guardians of the Globe. You do get a nice little origin issue here too, with the origins of Adam Eve and the Immortal, Duplicate, and Monster Girl included in this to give a little background on those characters as well. But I feel like the emotional elements and the growth that Mark has throughout the story is fantastic. The relationship with his mother is great. It kind of hits close to me because his mother is battling with alcoholism after she finds out, that Omni-Man actually doesn't care for her and he's here to destroy the planet basically and enslave all the people here. So all that is a really, really great storytelling, and I think this volume here is a great start to this epic tale of Invincible. The art throughout Invincible is absolutely fantastic, and it just gets better and better as the issues go on. It's super detailed with dynamic action scenes that really bring the superhero battles to life. The characters are well designed with distinct looks and personalities that make them feel like real people. The series also has a great sense of humor and plenty of witty one-liners throughout it, so that's always something that kind of gives a little extra element to the storytelling there. Now, if you're looking to pick up this Invincible hardcover compendium volume 1, I get all my books from Organic Price Books. It's the best place to get your omnibus and other collected editions. Super fast shipping, bulletproof packaging, and amazing customer service. Use promo code DROCK to get $2 off your purchase at organicpricebooks.com. Now use code DROCK, ship it together to get 5% off a purchase of 3 or more books from organicpricebooks.com. So join the OPB family today. Link is down in the description. Super happy we got this hardcover compendium. I'm a fan of the omnibus, which really allows you to kind of just binge read a series, and now that we have this Invincible story in hardcover, I'm just so happy, man. I mean, if you were to read these issues coming out monthly, I think it would be a little hard to follow because the story is just so involved and detailed. But I mean, like, overall, this Invincible Compendium Volume 1 is an excellent collection that showcases really the best of the series. This is an amazing series, one of my favorites of all time. It's a must-read for fans of superhero comics, and even those who aren't really fans of the genre will probably find something to enjoy in this story. I mean, it's well-crafted and very engaging. This is some absolute Robert Kirkman goodness with superb artwork from Ryan Ottley. If you're on the fence about this, check out the show on Amazon Prime. Let me know what you think about this Invincible hardcover down in the comments, and thanks for watching.